caution, awareness, education. Reading your labels provides all of that. Let's talk more about it on Locks Talk. Welcome, one and all. Come on in. Let's have this conversation. This one is a deep conversation, and I implore you to stay the course and listen to everything that I talk about today. But before we begin our conversation, I ask, please, like, share, subscribe, especially share, because this information should be shared with as many people as possible so you know and be well educated. Let's get started. Okay, so before I get started, I just want to first go over some things. This is not a scare tactic. I'm not here to deter you from using anything and like, oh, I'm going to throw all of this stuff away. No. This is to educate you. This is to inform you. This is to give you information, because a lot of times people are very selective with reading ingredients and reading labels and being informed. They like to ask other people questions and do no research to fact check. This is about educating you and teaching you how to fact check so you know for yourself, not what somebody told you or what they told you, but what you yourself saw, okay? Don't just go with the word of mouth. Like even with me, you hear me recommending products that I use, and those products work for me, but it also works for me because I know what's in them. So even if I'm saying, oh, I highly recommend this, that's why I say I highly recommend this. I don't say you should use this. I highly recommend. That does not mean you don't take the time to look it up, read the labels, and make sure the ingredients in it does not contain allergens that can affect you. For example, like the refresher spray, the rosewater refresher spray, I highly recommend it for many people to use for their locks. But one of my close friends who also uses made for lock products, she's allergic to rosewater. She made this known to the owner of Made for Locks, and that's when they developed a second refresher spray that is based with aloe vera. Yeah. So when you speak up and you read labels and you make it known, changes can be made on your behalf. Because if it's making you sick or you have allergies to it, it's very possible you're speaking for many other people, and that allows the creators to create something that is not an allergen for you. And don't get caught up with all these pretty labels and shiny labels and, like, oh, this is nice. And you pick it up. And on the front, it says parabens free, sulfate free. But then you flip the bottle around and you start reading the ingredients list. And there it is. It's in there. What people don't understand when you look at a label and you see everything, like, oh, all this stuff is so little. The reason for that is because by law, if you create products by law, you have to list the ingredients that's in that product on the packaging somewhere. And sometimes it's a lot of stuff, so they got to cram it all in there. Thus, the more print, the smaller it has to be, and make sure everything is there. I tend to take a picture of it with my phone and then I magnify it and read it. Or if they have a website, you can go, and most companies now, they have a website. You can go right on a website and read all the ingredients that are in that particular product. Made for Locks absolutely does that. They print everything on their bottles, but you can go to their website and you can see all the ingredients and everything that they have within their inventory. So again, this is awareness, education, caution, not a scare tactic. So let's get into this conversation. Y'all ready? Because I am. Okay, so let's look at it this way. Why do we need to read labels? To protect yourself from harmful and hazardous ingredients. Remember, I just said it a second ago. Read this stuff. There might be allergens that you know that you have. You reading the label to make sure that's not in there, right? Second, what is that? Ingredients are listed from high concentration, the highest concentration, right? So when it's listed based on the highest amount of concentration to the lowest. So the first 5 ingredients are the highest concentration in that product. So read all of those things. One of the things that I was warned about or educated about is much of the times when it's something that you can't pronounce, probably ain't good for you. So this is where the aliases and the simplistic names and layman's terms come into play. Be aware. So some of these ingredients have alternate names, so pay attention to the printing and labels that I have written next to my filming around me, because those are lists of alternative names that you will find these ingredients written as on the labels. Okay, you might want to get a pen and paper. Pause. Go get a pen and paper and start taking some notes. Okay. All right, let's do this. Before I get into it again, let's review the 9 plus the 1 bonus product that I said we were going to discuss today. Remember, I said I was going to go more in depth with information about it. Here it is: sulfate, mineral oil, parabens, denatured alcohol, synthetic fragrances, coal tar, silicone, phthalates, formaldehyde, and the bonus, PPD. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, we're back with number 1, sulfate. And before I begin, I'm going to go back and forth because I wrote about this in my blog on my website, because this information is very important. So you'll see me looking and reading, because I don't want to miss nothing. I'm not going to, surmise anything. I want full details of the information I provide. So number 1, sulfate. Sulfates are an aggressive chemical that are extremely drying to your hair, as it strips away all of the hair and scalp of its natural oils. It also strips away too much moisture, leaving the hair brittle and unhealthy. Over time, your hair weakens and ends up looking dull and becoming very prone to damage, breaking, and split ends. It is important to read the label to assure there's no sulfate in your shampoo. Many fall in love with the suds that is produced when they're washing your hair. Suds does not equate to cleanliness. Okay, I'll say that again. Suds does not equate to cleanliness. You ever went to the laundry and you put your clothes in the wash machine and put way too much detergent in there, and there's this white cloud of suds in the washing machine, and at the end of your wash cycle you take your clothes out and you got these little clumps of dirt everywhere on your clothes, and you're like, what is this? What it is the suds becomes a magnet to the dirt. And once all of the water and everything is rinsed out, it doesn't necessarily rinse everything out, because of the suds, the dirt stuck to the suds, and it gets right back on your clothes. That's how that happens. And the same thing can happen to your hair. Okay? High suds does not mean that your hair is clean. The sulfate is stripping your hair. So it's not just taking the dirt and the oil and everything, but it's taking everything else also. All of the essences that make your hair great and what it is being stripped away with sulfate. Now, this is why I also recommend, I had a whole conversation about this a very short time ago with a young lady who was trying to recommend to a broad spectrum of people with locks to wash their locks with Dawn dish detergent. And one of the things that's in it is a high concentration of sulfate. Girl, don't do that. So, without disrespecting her, because oftentimes I see when people are trying to educate you, they'll speak to you in a condescending tone and act like you're the dumbest person on the planet, like you can't learn anything, like you're so stupid. I'm not, that's not what we're going to do. However, if you're not sure of something, don't go tell it on the mountain. You don't do that. If it's going to cause people major harm, okay? Don't wash your hair with no dish detergent under any circumstance. Even if that is all you had, go with the dirt until you can get some down shampoo. Okay? I'm serious, for real. But sulfate, I'm not saying 100% throw it away and stay away from it, but don't make it a habit of buying sulfate shampoo because sometimes there is a case where a person just has so much stuff built up on their hair, they need a good wash. At least one of the wash cycles have to be with a sulfate shampoo to break down all that product that's really stuck in their hair because clarifying can do but so much if it is major buildup. So sometimes you need it at least for one wash cycle. Do I recommend using it often? No. You don't want to turn your hair into hay. Okay, hay is for horses, Denise. Remember Whitley Gilpin? No, okay. This is your next joke. Okay, now we're going to talk about mineral oil. Remember we talked about mineral oil? Mineral oil. Most often, mineral oil is a liquid byproduct. Refining crude oil to make gasoline and other petroleum products. Remember I said mineral oil is not really for your hair. Yeah, that's what I mean, okay? Mineral oil can irritate the skin, causing a rash or burning feeling on contact. Breathing mineral oil can irritate the lungs, causing coughing and shortness of breath. Respiratory problems, right? Mineral oil can lead to buildup on scalp, and it causes hair strands to become stiff and lifeless as a result of being weighed down by leftover product residue. While mineral oil has the ability to restore shine, reduce tangles, and prevent split ends, it can't penetrate the hair fiber and will be ineffective in treating existing damages. Using products that contain plant-based oils, such as coconut oil, like fractionated coconut oil or avocado oil. Some people like to use jojoba oils. Those things generally offer far more benefits than mineral oil. Plant-based oil is very beneficial in helping prevent the loss of protein to your hair. For label readings, some alternative or aliases for mineral oil listed as an ingredient are white oil, paraffin oil, liquid paraffin, liquid petroleum. So this is why I said mineral oil, if it's in the product, probably not the greatest thing. You might want to rethink, okay? And remember, oil is not the holy grail to moisture. So chill. Don't do it. Okay, now it's time to get a little bit serious. Now we're going to talk about parabens. You will see a lot of products, not just hair products, but makeups and skincare products and things that says parabens free on the label. Make sure you read the ingredients to be absolutely certain, because parabens does have alternative names. So parabens are a group of chemical compounds used in preservatives to prevent the growth of bacteria in cosmetic formulas. Okay? Parabens are very hazardous to your health. It is of the greatest concern that parabens are known to disrupt hormone functions and effects that are linked to increase the risk of breast cancer and reproductive toxicity. Okay. According to the Library of National Medicine, a study has shown large amounts of parabens in the tumors of cancer patients. However, researchers were unable to confirm why or how it happened. So, if you'd rather be safe than sorry, I recommend you avoid using products that contain parabens. For the purpose of reading labels, some other or alternatively listed names, aliases, parabens ingredients are methylparaben, propylparaben, parahydroxybenzoate. Right? If you can't pronounce it, then likely it's not good for you. So parabens have been found in cancer tumors. Parabens they found connections to breast cancer and reproductive health toxicity. Parabens are not good for you. If it's in it, if it says parabens free on the front, read the ingredients to make sure it's not in there, because by law, they have to print the ingredients on the packaging. Doesn't say they can't put no something on the front of it because, that catches the person's eye. They be like, oh, it was there. It's not my fault that they didn't read. Case closed. You lose. Read all in the label. Okay, let's talk about it again. Denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohols refer to alcohol products adulterated with toxic and or bad tasting additives, making it unsuitable for human consumption. Okay? While these alcohols are technically safe to use in cosmetics, it can cause excessive dryness and disturb the natural barrier on your skin. Remember when I said it turns white when you see it on your skin? That's because it's taking away the barrier and all kinds of other stuff can get in there now. Okay? It can cause breakouts, irritations, and redness. This type of alcohol is usually found in the hairsprays. I was telling you about the aerosol hairsprays like cold spray and oil sheen and even some mousses and gels and stuff. It's in that stuff, okay? Hairsprays, some brands of hair gels, and some brands of hair mousse. Many people prefer using them because it dries faster on your hair. So a lot of times people trying to speed up the process. Sometimes when you're trying to save time, you're sacrificing your hair for it. We don't need to do all of that, right? But you don't want the cost of speed to be your hair breaking off and being dehydrated, dry, and brittle. Constant use leaves hair feeling dry, frizzy, and dull. Beware of denatured alcohols listed in the ingredients as denat, ethanol, SD alcohol 40, propanol, isopropyl, which is what you see like rubbing alcohol, and propyl, okay? Denatured alcohol is not hair friendly. I will say it again. Denatured alcohol is not hair friendly. If you are a person with locks and this is your second or third lock journey and you started your first journey way back in the day and they was using that dark, thick black gel on your hair and you wound up having to cut your locks off because it was dry, brittle, and heavy and stuff, it's because that denatured alcohol got in there, cemented, like got solid like cement, and your hair was just dry and brittle, and every time you moved it, you can hear it. Remember when we used to do finger waves and pineapple waves or popcorn waves that they called them, and it's all crunchy and hard. It looked pretty, and it looked like it's pretty and soft, and you go to touch it, and it's hard. It's hard. Have you ever gone to the salon while you had your hair in a style that was packed with holding gel? Because holding gel is generally the gel that has a lot of denatured alcohol in it. And they just trying to comb your hair with no moisture or nothing. If you don't get me over to this sink and just go straight for washing it and stop trying to comb my hair with all, and then your hair's just breaking out. Denatured alcohol is not healthy for your hair, okay? Now, with synthetic fragrances, it's not so much a huge hazard to your health. However, some synthetic fragrances does contain parabens and phthalates. So that's when it becomes an issue to your health. But synthetic fragrances is more hazardous to your skin if you suffer from a lot of allergies and, dermatitis outbreaks and things like that. So synthetic fragrances are fragrances developed in laboratories to mimic natural fragrances. They are not necessarily bad. However, parabens and phthalates can be found in some synthetic fragrance formulas. Very few, but some. Okay? And those agents are bad. Parabens and phthalates is what I'm talking about. Synthetic fragrances are known to lead to a range of skin reactions, whether that be redness, itching, hives, or dermatitis. If you suffer from skin allergies, be careful with products that list synthetic fragrances as an ingredient, okay? That's another reason why I really like Made for Life products. There's a lot of oil extracts from fruits and flowers and stuff like that that provides the scent. So, yeah, be careful about the products they use. This is why I don't wear a lot of perfumes, because a lot of perfumes have synthetic fragrances in it. And it's very irritating. It smells good, but it's not worth it. I have sensitive skin already, so no, I'm good. I stick with my oils and essential oil fragrances and stuff. Yeah. Mm. Oh yes, I was a coal miner's daughter. Y'all remember that movie with Sissy Spacek? I like that movie. It was a good movie. But coal tar. That's why I started singing the song. We on coal tar. Coal tar is derived dyes used to give artificial color to cosmetics. Coal tar is a thick, dark liquid, which is a byproduct. Keep that in mind. Byproduct. Anything byproduct is not good to put into your body. Of the production of coke, like as in Coca-Cola, and coal gas for coal. All right. It has both medical and industrial uses. It is commonly used in medicated shampoo. Remember I said that, to treat scalp psoriasis, and should not contain more than 5% of coal tar in the formula, the highest concentrated before it is deemed toxic and hazardous to your overall health. Studies have shown that higher doses of coal tar contain chemical and metals like aluminum substrate, which have been linked to cancer and brain damage. Okay, a downfall is it leaves hair feeling dry and smelling like tar. Remember I said why? I feel like I put half the street in my hair. You know, when like construction and they put the asphalt down and they seal it with the tar, that smell. That's what coal tar smells like. And the one that they put in the medicated shampoo also smells like that. That's why it's like, ew, what is that smell? That's the damn shampoo. It's the stuff in it. Yeah. I would consider an alternative treatment for psoriasis other than coal tar. But most coal tar dyes have been banned from cosmetic formulas worldwide. But some places it's not banned. Read your labels. Okay? I must have. What is this language? What is this language? I must have talked about this in almost every video that I've made. Silicones. Silicone is not your friend. What about your friends? I'm sorry. DLC. Silicone isn't a toxic chemical. So let's throw that out. It's not a toxic chemical. This is about the health of your beautiful hair. Remember I said, oh, look, it is so pretty, it's shiny, and smooth. Yeah, I bet it is. But here we go. Silicone isn't a toxic chemical. It is completely safe as far as your physical health goes. But what it can do is affect the strength and appearance of your hair, causing a weighty feel of dryness. Okay? It's just like it feels heavy and it feels dry. It is hard to remove buildup from silicone. It can block your hair follicles and cause hair loss. So remember I said silicone creates that cellophane, that saran wrap, not just on your hair, it can do it on your scalp too. And now nothing can get in, no nutrients can get in to feed your scalp. And you're like, what's going on? It's silicone. The silicone is not your friend. Okay? When used in conditioners and styling products, silicone act like a protective barrier by coating the strands and leave your hair with a glossy, smooth finish. Silicones are emollient slip agents that are great for locking in moisture and giving hair instantaneous silky shine. But, as previously noted, it weighs your hair down, and since it adds an exterior seal, saran wrap, right, to your hair cuticles, it prevents moisture from penetrating and getting into the hair shaft, right, which will eventually dry out your hair over time. Beware. Any listed ingredients ending in CONE, cone, is a silicone based product. So yeah, eventually and this is all about long term use. Okay, so you when you initially put it on, be like, oh, this look at my hair, it's so shiny and pretty, and then I see you a year later. What happened to your shiny, beautiful hair? Because you kept putting that stuff on there. And you like it just was getting dull, so I put more on there. And no matter how much I put on it, it just was not doing. Of course not. See, products are good, but products is like the icing on the cake. You know how cake is good by itself, but it's even better with the icing, right? So products provide an enhancement. However, it's the care that you put into your hair that makes it thrive, right? So you can have a plant and you water it like you're supposed to every day, but if you don't give that extra TLC, like, I talk to my plants. All of my plants have names, and when I put water in there, oh, you good? They thrive more. They get bigger, and you can see a little piece of Lily sticking down in my camera. She's like, yeah, that's me, that's me. She was a little tiny thing when I first got her, and now she's almost as big as the whole shelf up there that she's on. So silicone ain't your friend, baby. Silicone ain't your friend. It ain't gonna kill you. It might kill your hair, but it ain't gonna kill you. But this is a warning about what it can do to your hair. If you really want healthy, long, beautiful hair, then leave the silicone alone. What's that word again? The pH is silent. Phthalates. Phthalates, right? Phthalates, pronounced phthalates, are chemicals that make plastic soft. Nearly all Americans have phthalate byproducts in their urine. It's in our bodies. Many people have taken actions to prevent usage by using glass storage containers, which every dish in my cabinet over there is glass. I don't have plastic anything. It took time to replace everything with glass. I either use glass or stainless steel. No plastic. No plastics. No plastics. Okay? Many people have taken action to prevent usage by using glass storage containers and bottles instead of plastic. And I'm going to help you avoid it in cosmetic you use, including the products you use for your hair. In the past few years, researchers have linked phthalates to asthma, ADHD, breast cancer, obesity, type 2 diabetes, low IQ, neurodevelopmental issues, behavioral issues, autism, and fertility issues. This was in 2010-2015 article, February 10, 2015 article in reference to the Chronicle Hazards Advisory Panel on phthalates and phthalate alternatives. Okay, and I'm going to also read here, because I found this out too. Phthalates are found in many consumer products, so it's not just stuff that beauty products. It's also consumer products, like, right, that increase the risk of, and this is very common, uterine fibroids. You see more and more and more women who are in pain because they have fibroids. More and more women who can't reproduce or have babies because of fibroids. It can be absorbed through the skin, it can be inhaled, and it can be ingested. And I'll read that first sentence again. Phthalates are chemicals that make plastic soft. So why is it in our food? Why is it in the cosmetic products that we use? Read your labels. The next slide is going to show you all the alternative names of phthalates. When reading labels, look for DEHP, also known as di-2-ethyl hexyl phthalates. If you see phthalates listed in the ingredients of any of the products you use, do not use it. Now that's something you pick up, you throw it away. I don't care how much you paid for it. If it has phthalates in it, throw it out. Please and thank you. Number 9, formaldehyde. Well, it sounds like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type energy when you read that word, formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is a colorless, pungent gas in solution made by oxidizing methanol. Hair products may have formaldehyde dissolved and chemically reacted in water. Hair products, water. See, washing, you need water to wash your hair. Okay? Often the reaction formaldehyde is called menthol glycol. Inhalation of air contaminated with formaldehyde may result in respiratory problems such as coughing, bronchitis, chest pains, and wheezing. There are several shampoo brands that are under investigation for containing formaldehyde. Remember, I said you can just look it up. Type that in, and then they give you a whole list of stuff. There are certain soaps and body washes that has it in there too. And when you see what's on that list, it's gonna just look it up. You may very well have them in your possession. If you do, I suggest looking up shampoos under investigation for contaminating or containing formaldehyde. Please read the labels of shampoos you buy. Look for the following on the label reading methylene glycol or formalin. Those are the two aliases for formaldehyde. You might not see formaldehyde, but if you see those two listed in the ingredients, it's formaldehyde. Don't use it, especially if it's something that you have to use with water, because that's how it's activated. Don't use it. Your lungs will thank you for it. Trust me. Okay, here's the bonus one, PPD, paraphenylene diamine. Paraphenylene diamine. Say that 10 times fast. PPD. While PPD is not extremely hazardous to your overall health, use with caution, as it does have a reputation for contact allergens to skin. PPD is a chemical substance that is widely used in permanent and semi-permanent hair dyes. PPD is used in the dye because it gives a natural look to the coloring agent, and the dye can also be shampooed in or permed without losing its color. So like I said, it gives it a more natural look, or it don't look like you took a Sharpie or some paint and just painted it on your hair. Okay? And it, like it says, it stays. It allows it to get more into the cortex of your hair, so that this is why if you use like black box dyes and then you want to go to the salon and all of a sudden you want to go platinum blonde, it takes several sessions to get it out. Sometimes it doesn't come out because once it's in the core, it's there. And so you can have this weird greenish, grayish color. That's the highest that you can lift your hair to. That generally is why that happens. So you have to be very open and honest with your beautician when you go to get your hair colored. If you have any kind of dye in your hair, you need to communicate that to them. That way they know how to proceed moving forward to lift your hair. Don't lie. Okay. Oh no, this is my natural hair. Do not lie. Okay, stop. So it's okay to use dyes that contain PPD. However, due to the contact allergens in PPD, I recommend doing an area test. Remember, I said on the forearm, which is where when you go to an allergy doctor, the same thing happens there. When they go to the allergy doctor, they use the forearm because it's the most visible part where they can see dermatitis or allergens, take effect in your system. Okay, so definitely you want to do a skin patch test. The same way like how they say, if you want to do, color lifting and stuff, they do strand tests just to see the tensile strength of your hair to make sure it's not breaking down your hair too quickly, and you don't want to put it on your hair and then you go to rinse it and the product and your hair is just falling out your head. Yeah. We're going to talk about that in the next video. Anywho, sensitive individuals can experience dermatitis, commonly known as eczema. So if you have eczema, PPD is not for you. If they experience a reaction in the PPD, it dies. Okay? So, if you have skin problems, leave it alone. Wow. That was some ride, huh? Well, the thrill is over. The thrill is over. I'm so corny. We've reached the end of our video. So to summarize what we talked about today, I want to remind you the importance of reading your labels. Reading your labels is not about the products that you use. It's not just about that. It's also about what we ingest and put into our bodies. So even highly preserved foods that we purchase that are on the shelf that has preservatives in it, be careful. I talked about phthalates and how it's meant to, soften plastics. If you have a lot of plastics and Tupperware in your cabinet, throw it out. Replace it with glass. I have glass bowls, glass dishes, glass cups. Everything is glass or microwave safe kind of glass, ceramics. I also have like water bottle, metal, stainless steel mixing bowls, wooden, even like with utensils. You don't want to use plastic serving spoons and stuff like that. You want to use stuff that's going to be more safe, that does not contain phthalates. Because, like I said, almost all of us have it in. If you take a urine test, you'll find phthalates in there. So, there's other reasons for this conversation. It's not just about your hair products. It's about everything. Don't get distracted by pretty and flashy labels. That's how they attract the consumer to buy it. Oh, that's so pretty. Look, oh wow, that's yeah. You're drawn in by the name and the pretty, flashy, shiny, and all that. Read. Don't be selective. Read. Don't let somebody just tell you. Read. Fact check. That's the whole point of reading. Is to fact check. Check the facts. Okay. Read the front and the back of the label. So it might say sulfate free and parabens free on the front of the label, because they can do that. It's part of the core. And then by law, they have to list all of the ingredients. So read the ingredients. If you can't see it, like me, take a picture of it, zoom, read it. If they have a website, go on the website, read it. Make sure you know what you are putting on your body, in your mouth. Okay? Be aware. Don't let somebody, oh, well, this, even with me telling you this, don't just take my word for it. Fact check, go look it up. Because everything I talk about is researchable. You can find it yourself. How you think I got it? You think they just threw it in my head? I was born with this information? No. I read studies and statistics and things like that. It's necessary. But yeah, don't get scammed by stuff like that. Like I said, I've experienced it before, where I saw on the front of the bottle it said sulfate free and parabens free, and I turned it around and I was like, because I'm aware of alternate and alias names of these products, and be like, oh, they said it was. Why y'all lie? And if you see that, something happens to your hair. Looks like you got a winning case on your hands, as long as your lawyer has a good chemist that can actually test the facts with the sample of what you have. So, read your labels. It's very important. Very important. Okay? Thank you for joining me for Locks Talk. Bye.